Welcome to the Dynasty podcast, where we dive into the grand tapestry of secrets on how to build your own dynasty. Get ready to embark on a journey through many glory and downfalls. This is Sam Lammy, better known as Sam Millions.
Yeah, I know this is gonna be the first podcast episode, I guess, here with me and Sam. Basically the guy who made me into who I am now, I guess you can say. Trying to get into the Instagram space a little bit, but no one better to do my first episode with than fucking Mr. Money Millions, Sam Lammy. That's the man right there. That's the man right there.
I'm here. What's up, man?
But man, just like a couple things that I think would be like, I guess, to the people who kind of like, everyone's always on social media. They see Become Dynasty, they think of you. How did you feel like you kind of got to that point? Like, what made you go and be so, like, when you walk in the room, Sam's there. You're always doing something. You're energetic. You're outgoing. Like, what do you think made you kind of flip the script and just start going more out there? 'Cause I used to be a hustler, quiet, keep it under everything. You know what I'm saying? And then now you're kind of just like, you kind of take the precedence in the room. So, like, what do you say would make you, like, I guess, turn that way in a sense?
To be honest, like, when I joined, U.S. Health Advisors or whatnot, there wasn't really much structure in the sense of like training, nor was there much in motivating. It was more of a throw you in the deep end and either you sink or you swim. And so after observing that for quite some time, it was just like, all right, I need to be the agent of change. If there's ever going to be any change, and if I want to see this business flourish, not just Dynasty itself, but U.S. Health Advisors itself, I wanted to make sure that, one, I can motivate the people and let them know that there's wealth building opportunities here, and to motivate them through the tough times. And so really it's just wanting to see the change and wanting to make sure that everyone wins. Like, honestly, like, to think of the landscape of what America looks like right now. 67% of people are living paycheck to paycheck. That's a statistic that I've seen. And to be able to provide an opportunity to countless of people to make them not be part of that statistic, that's really what drives me on a day-to-day basis.
I think it's crazy that you say that because, like I think the reason why, like, I would say, like, you're so relatable to, I guess, the team and kind of why so many people follow you and, like, they'll do kind of anything for you is more so because, like, your background and your story and everything like that, growing up in Brooklyn, 8 people in a basement basically your whole life. I think it makes you so relatable because, like, you don't I know you went to college, but you don't have, like, some crazy 12-year degree to be a doctor, make, the money that you make now. And I feel like it kind of is, like, inspiring as well for, I guess, like, both of us really, because, like, I'm just, like, probably 90% of people who from my page are going to see this as a random ass 20-year-old kid, did a bunch of serving jobs, didn't really know exactly how to make the money, but wanted to make money. Who doesn't want to make money? It's just more so kind of like the blueprint. And that's why, like, I feel like with this job, like U.S. Health, it's like, let's be real. Obviously, no one wants to sit here and sell insurance all day. But if I can go ahead and sell insurance, make a lot of friends, have a lot of fun, make a lot of money for 3-4 years, and go pack my shit up and do what I want to do for my life, I mean, who isn't going to do that type of thing? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think that it's so cool how, like, me and you kind of weren't supposed to be shit in a way, kind of, or at least we didn't really, at least to the point where we're at now, I guess. I think it's cool how we kind of made it now. I feel like that's why so many people will, like, run through a door for us and do whatever with us, because we also, on top of all that, like, we put our agents first. And I think that you can 100% agree. And the only reason I feel like why I kind of, I don't want to say grew up that way, but kind of learned that way with my team is because I was always directly under you before all the other fuck around people who just, get a runner, buy, keep them for a paycheck. Like, you actually give a fuck. Yeah. And I feel like that's kind of what wore off there. But no, man, it's inspiring, kind of like the shit that you can do when you actually give a fuck and start trying with yourself and kind of have the right blueprint, which is U.S. Health, to kind of do what you want to do with your life. But nah, that's shit's crazy, bro, how they can turn out like that.
Like, struggle is a beautiful thing. Like, a lot of people try to run away from struggle, but there's, like, studies that show that the most successful people had the right amount of adversity that caused them to not want to be adverse and causes them to catapult into greatness. And I just feel like I never, and you know this about me, I don't shy away from my struggles. Mm-hmm. Like, I talk about it. I embrace it because it is the very thing that shaped and molded me to who I am today. Mm-hmm. Without those struggles, I would not be relatable. I would not be able to relate to anybody on the floor. They'll just look at me as some rich guy. But the fact that I can talk about my struggles, embrace them, and not only that, like use analogies to not just my struggles, but anyone's struggle in business or in sports, entertainment, so that I can make the connection with the agents. That's the biggest thing. And I think you do that as well. You know, being 20 years old, you give people, hey, you don't have to have the excuse of saying, oh, I'm young anymore, because I did it. That's what you do. You have 18, 19, 20-year-old kids who come in, and in this world before, it's like, oh, they're just kids, let them figure it out. Now you're like, no, yeah, we can figure it out now so that we don't have to figure it out 20 years from now. That's the beauty of what I believe that you bring to the table is nobody has the excuse. It's now, why not me?
Right, and that's the biggest thing, because there's two different types of people. Like human beings, just as a whole in general, I feel like, I don't want to say the word lazy, but they kind of set shit back there. They don't want to do tedious shit. So it's like there's two people. So, you know, people who are 20 years old and want to go ahead and do shit like this, for the people who want to go party till they're 24 type of thing and then start giving a fuck type of thing. And that's funny because you bring that up, because now I got like 8 people who I've been telling for the longest time, yo, fuck that college shit. In terms of like partying every single day, you know, if you guys are going to get your degrees, get your degrees. But in terms of like partying 24/7 with your frats and sections, now they want to go ahead and come back, say I was right. I mean, it just kind of proves it there. And it's more so like, it's a learning lesson too for everyone, because don't get me wrong, like there's certain times where like, you know, I will say, like, I want to be a 20-year-old kid. Like, I really do want to sit back, play video games all day, go watch Twitch streamers, do whatever the fuck I want to do, but I can't. And that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, I understood, you know, the sacrifice that I was taking in order to get to the position that I was in. Yeah. And I feel like if I didn't, then I don't know where I'd be today, to be honest. And I don't know. I generally don't know, but it's just one of those things where it's like pro and cons. Like, yeah, I want to go hang out with my girlfriend, you know, for over 1 hour, 2 hours a day, and then just 1 day a week. And I want to do this and this and this. I don't want to sell insurance, be a therapist to my team 24/7. But it's just one of those things where like I'm so happy that I'm doing it. I wouldn't want it any other way, because I know if I wasn't dealing with these type of things when I'm 23 or 22 in a couple of years, I'm gonna be laughing back at the moment now that I would even like kind of think about that stuff.
Yeah, you gotta think about it, right? Like, I never have you guys shy away from being kids or adults. That's why, like, I don't want you guys to try to grow up too fast, but what I want you to do is not regret your youth, because a lot of people end up living life regretting and say they shoulda, woulda, coulda, when now I'm just empowering you and letting you know why not now, because I think it's beautiful. Like, you know, I look back at myself when I was in my 20s. I did make good money in my 20s, but when I was in my 20s, like, if I would have taken all the time that a lot of my like peers were to like just party alone, like I did party, I did have fun, but solely party, like, and not build the foundation that made me who I am today, I would be figuring it out now. And so what I want you guys to do, and what I want anybody in the listeners who are listening to this or watching this, is like, look, it's okay to have fun, but build this solid foundation, because the income that you're going to generate now is going to help you compound that to where you're in your 40s and you can actually enjoy your 40s, your 50s, whatever age it is, you can actually enjoy life and do the partying at a higher level.
I think the word you're looking for is like balance, really. Balance. Like just having that balance where like, cool, we can go to, like, for example, EDC next weekend for 3 straight days, and then we can go watch Dave Chappelle 2 days ago, and then right after this podcast, go watch LeBron James, you know what I'm saying, like versus to Magic. But it's just more so like taking it too far. Like, imagine doing all that, and then you're like just missing all your school assignments, fucking going to every single party, maxing out credit cards. Like, it's just not right. You know, fucking around doing that shit, but hey, it is what it is. Some people make those mistakes, but they come around, you know what I mean? It's a learning curve.
Yeah, I mean, life doesn't have a blueprint, but I can just have people learn from the mistakes that I've made. And that's why, like, you know, there's a saying that a lot of people talk about, you're standing on the shoulders of giants. Like, if somebody is telling you something based on like their own personal experience, they're trying to make you avoid their mistakes so that you can, like, man, oftentimes we joke, yeah, when you're 30-something years old, I hope you're 10 times richer than me. Because then what that says to me is, great, perfect, I did my job. I can die happy. I can die and be like, all right, this man is richer than me at 30-something years old. because I didn't let him just waste his 20s, waste his late teens playing video games. And then also like this day and age, like these kids that sit here and they're watching streamers. These streamers are making millions of dollars for you to sit at home and watch them, and you're not generating any income.
Or at least trying to be like them and start streaming or doing shit yourself too.
Yeah, if I'm cool if somebody starts streaming to stream and make money, that's great. But don't sit there wasting your life watching Kai Cenat do 7 years in a fake prison.
7 days.
7 days in a fake prison when you could have used those same 7 days to generate income. Now, we're in the information age. You can literally go online and have ChatGPT create a business plan for you. You go in there, you tweak it a little bit, and now you're a multimillionaire before the age of 30. Like, there's no excuse for anyone to sit at home watching someone else living their dream. And you remember Dave Chappelle's joke was amazing about living in someone's dream. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so that was great.
Yeah, but no, it's funny because like I think that a lot of people like. And this is the biggest part about like younger people, and I can say this because it happened to me multiple times, even when like I first started, was like you'll have these moments where like you're trying to be like the big brother, like the father figure in a sense, like the role model, and you're telling, let's say myself, yo, watch out for this, and this, and then you don't realize it until like, let's say a year and a half later, 2 years later, it happens, you're like, oh fuck, like this guy's right, and then you kind of open your eyes to that. But like the part where you were talking about with like, you know, getting up and the streamers making this much money and like watching them, like he's not trying to say like, yo, if you want to chill out, don't watch a fucking streamer. He's more so saying like, don't sit there 7 days for an entire week, man. Be saying, oh, having no source of income, sitting there watching Kai Cenat all day, wishing you were him. Like, get up and do something. Like these guys, if you see all the big streamers now, they got videos of them off their iPhone just doing random Twitch streams, playing the shittiest game ever, just doing shit like that, being themselves. And like they didn't blow up. Like, you know how long it took Kai Cenat to blow up where he's at now? Years on years on years. And people try to get this quick turnaround time where it's like it kind of deteriorates someone in a way when they don't see their results after a year or two, but that's a part of the process. Like you're not supposed to be an absolute fucking 100K viewer Twitch streamer in a day or two. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy how people.
It's crazy. Even my Instagram platform, man. I've been dropping motivational content for years. It wasn't until this year that it started taking off. And like, had I given up, like the truth is, if you have something that you believe in, I believe that like God put me on this earth to help other people generate wealth, but to not give up in their process or their journey to success. Because everybody, I can use Jeff Bezos, who started in a garage. I can use like Steve Jobs that started in a house.
Yeah, garage of the house.
Garage as well. Like all these individuals. LeBron James, his start was in the hood, Akron, Ohio. Like, he didn't become the billionaire LeBron, like, after just playing basketball once in some outdoor yard. He had to work at it. He spends millions of dollars a year on his body so that he can be in year 21 doing the same numbers or better numbers than year one.
Fuck MJ, he the GOAT. But no, it's funny that you bring that up. Before I lose my train of thought, you were just saying before you brought up LeBron about having the patience, to help your people and your agents with the process of making it from nothing to something. And it's funny you bring up LeBron because I think everyone knows that LeBron, with like his close homeboys and everything like that, he made sure they came up as well the entire time. So it's like those people got his back for life because, you know, when you get to that stage that, you know, you don't know who's fake, you don't know who's real. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, to bring that topic up, it's kind of hard sometimes because, like, you know, there's some people who are going to come at you, they're going to be buddy, but then you don't know what their true intent is till the end. And we have multiple examples of that we've seen the last 2 years, not to name drop, but it's one of those things where it's like, it's hard trusting people nowadays. You know what I mean? Like it's not the easiest thing, right? But I wanted to ask you this for someone who, I don't want to say like super like popular, no, nothing like that, but someone who has a lot of connections, I guess I should say, that you know someone who can probably get you a jet ski in the middle of Alaska right now type thing. How do you get to the point where you got that many networks, connections, quote unquote? Like how'd you build these relationships with these people outside of the business? I'm
so glad you said that. Like honestly, like this is the biggest thing that I think, the biggest lesson. My favorite quote, and I said this on another podcast, is your fingerprints never fade on the lives that you touch, right? So I never, ever really do anything with anyone or for anyone with the intention of them doing something back for
Mm-hmm.
me. And so at the end of the day, like, I am genuinely who I am 100% of the time. I don't care what
facts.
arena in, what office I'm in, what meeting I'm in. I'm 100% Sam Money Millions,
Mm-hmm.
right? And again, you have to be willing to do stuff for others without looking for it to be reciprocated.
Right.
And if it is, you're appreciative of it, but that cannot be the intent. So in order to say that is, I feel like, and sometimes I hate saying this about myself because I want people to give me my flowers, not me give myself my flowers. But I think the reason why I can have so many connections that you can see me be anywhere and there are people who genuinely like come up and say what's up to me is because I think that I just keep it 10 toes down, and I'm always going to be 100% me, and I'm 100% genuine. Like, people who I'm genuine with. But when you're on the other side, I'm equally.
They don't want to
I'm
know.
equally like that. I'm equally like that.
Shit, bro. We were in line for Dave Chappelle, waiting like 30 minutes for the doors open. I swear to God, I think you dapped up probably 36 different people. You're like, oh, yo, what's up, bro? I saw you like 4 years ago. Remember me? And you're like, yeah, bro. What's up?
Like, but it's cool because like I just love people, man. Like it's like, man, I like that quote is not just a fancy quote for me, bro. I think you could,
I can attest to that.
Attest that. I embody that, man. Like, I know, and even with the people who have done me dirty, like, at the end of the day, they'll come back.
And they try to.
They come
tried.
back. Every single time they come back, and they know, like, not too many people are genuine like that. And I just want to be that agent of change, man. That's really all it is make sure that I leave my impact, however great or however little it is.
Let me ask you this. I wanted to hear your kind of thoughts on this because, like, me and you both know it is extremely rare to kind of find people cut from the same cloth as that actually give a fuck, are genuine when they have realistically no reason to be, in a sense. Even like a random person that you saw years ago, like, there's no reason, quote unquote, that most people would see it as. Why do you think, like, is the psychology, or like, why do you think people do this two-faced fake shit the entire time rather than you just like how you are, just keeping it real 24/7 no matter what? What do you think makes someone just like be like realistically a piece of shit, essentially? Like, why do the people do that?
Experience, man. Experience is the best teacher and literally molds people on why how and why they are the way that they are. And to be completely honest, most people at the core are self-centered and are only aligned with their self-interest. And so sometimes, and even though like we can externally see that that's the case, while they're doing it, they don't feel that way. Mm-hmm. And it's not necessarily their fault. It's just there's so many different factors on how people become that way. Life experiences, how they grew up with their family. There's just so, it could have been one trauma-filled event that they even might have shut out mentally that led them to be the way they are.
Yeah, like my thing, like with my parents, like I would say, like right now, 'cause I know he's probably gonna watch this whole fucking thing. I know he is. My dad, the way that he raised me with like my little brother was because, like, naturally when you're like, let's say a 9-year-old and your brother's 4 years old, you're gonna bully him. You're gonna do dumb shit. It is what it is. Yeah. And my dad, like back then, he used to always kind of like make sure that you share between your brothers type of thing. Like always, like any other. Yeah. I guess like parent truthfully does most times. But it was like times where like I would be eating food or something, and then my brother would try to get a bite or something, and I'd be like, no, fuck no, it's my food. And my dad would like actually, that's like a couple of the times that my dad, I'd see him like actually get mad at me. And I feel like that's kind of why, the reason why, like, you would agree, there's no FTA, there's no leader that gives out more than me, whether it's financially, physically, time-wise, nothing. Yeah. And I don't know, like I feel like for me, like it was shout out to my dad for that, because like he taught me that, like, if it's your brother, realistically, and sure, like my team and stuff like that, they're not really my brothers, but like I really see these guys as my second family. So I feel like you always got to make sure that you share that gratitude, share that grace, because realistically speaking, and I think this is why like you love Dynasty so much, always kind of do everything for them, is because like you understand, yeah, you got yourself in that position with like, let's say your personal sales, your production, and everything that you did, but you wouldn't be getting those weekly paychecks, neither would I, without the team, because of them having your back. You see what I'm saying? So it's like something that it's like, that's why you do amazing, like let's say spiffs and stuff like that, where hey guys, we sell this amount of money, we're gonna go ahead and rent out a 40-person mansion and go do an Airbnb party. Like that's crazy. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like it's just things like that about getting, you know, how you came up and everything like that, and how you were taught, I guess, is a big part about it, because that would line up with how you came up. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense completely.
My parents too, you know, my dad like dedicated, both of my parents dedicated their time to helping others, and I watched that. And that's the thing too, like you know, I did a podcast with my daughter, and kids literally pick up on what their parents do. And when I asked my daughter who was her who she looked up to, without hesitation she said me. And I'm like, bro, it almost wrecked me, because, you know, I'm doing this for her. And then I asked why, and she says, because you work hard. And I'm sitting there like, whoa. And I say that to say, you watch your dad display that same level of like benevolence for other people, and it rubbed off on you naturally. And because of that, your brother Kevin is going to be a better man, because I watch you drip him out. Like, I watch you drip him out.
Shout out Kevin,
You
bro.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And because you drip Kevin out, Kevin may not have a younger brother, but then when you have a kid, when your brother has a kid, he's going to do that again. And that lineage, as long as everyone in that lineage follows that same suit, the world is a better place. And that's what, like, I don't think about myself with just the lives that I touch here. I understand the butterfly effect. I understand that if I do, or whatever it's called, 6 degrees of separation, whatever it is, if I do for you what I've watched my dad do my entire life, you now do it with Hidden Leaf. And I watch it from afar. I see you buy them computers, and then I don't let you do it by yourself.
Facts.
I split the
Without me asking,
I split it with you,
bro. Without me even asking, he's just like, "Oh, I'll split it with you."
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like, "Oh,
right."
Okay.
I watch you do it, and because I've been in your position where, you know, like, you're making great money, but you're also, to invest and have your business run the way you want it to run, you have to invest a lot of that money. And I understand being in your same shoes, where I was doing that same thing, asking no one for help. You know what I would do when you first came in.
I was there.
Right? Like, I understand that that's going to help you in the long run, and it's also going to make your agents, they all realize it, 100%. And even when they don't, when they leave, they come back. How many of them are coming back now? You see what I'm saying?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. So it's there's so many different reasons as to why we are the way we are. Experience is the biggest things. Our mentors and our parents and role models are the other. And then just the different interactions that we have from time to time with sometimes complete strangers. Liberty Mutual used to have this amazing commercial where it shows how that compounding effect works. One guy opens the door for an old lady, someone else sees it, and then when someone's about to like cross the street and prematurely, someone helps them, somebody else sees it, and that's what makes the world better, man, is
true.
we do it without, again,
Having
the
to see it.
intention of seeing a return from it. But if we all do it enough, the world will give us the return.
Oh shit, that's crazy you say that, because like I feel like I believe in karma, obviously. Like I definitely do. And like up for the first, like for those who don't know, like for the first, what month are we in? Well, we just started November, so like the first up until like June, I had one of the smallest FTA teams pretty much in the entire country, because of one of those fake two-sided people that we were talking about 10 minutes ago kind of, you know, fucked my shit over. And long story short, like it pushed me halfway through when I saw that, you know, I kind of had to break out of this like barrier, this mindset where it was like, oh, fuck it, I have these many people, like I'm going to be a bitch and like say that way. Fuck no. I started going crazy, recruiting a lot of people, and then the reason why I feel like I have to also be so sharing is because like the you can't bring 4 agents to 16 agents all converted, have the most, you know, 200Ks in the entire pretty much region by accident. You know what I mean? Like there's got to be some level of actually giving a fuck there type of thing, because I feel like with a lot of the agents and even with like Dynasty itself, it's like, one, like you said, they always come back because they realize it, and 2, as far as Dynasty goes, satellite wise in the region, we're the smallest satellite, but we're really like number 1 every single week. So it just kind of goes to show that it's not because we're doing any type of special training, any type of special lead generator, nothing. We're on the same leads as everyone else, but it's just more so the systemization and the care for the agents, and actually actually giving a fuck as leaders that kind of drives the place up. And how you said the butterfly effect. Like when you get a couple new agents on your team that kind of like, they're like little, question marks you can say whether if they're going to be a good piece or not realistically. You kind of leave your, like you said, your fingerprints on them, and you kind of start seeing them throughout the months turn into a different person, change their life. And I feel like that's why, for me, I mostly do it. Why I do the whole leadership thing, because like, for example, the name dropping like Jimmy, you grab a Jimmy off the street who's great at talking but doesn't have this or this, and then you see him turn into this type of person, this absolute fucking menace, to be honest. Like, it just gives you that feeling that like, okay, thank God that he was able to kind of, come alive and do this and this and this. It makes me happy type of thing. That This is why I work 14 hours a day, 6 days a week. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's how it is. And then there'll come a time, that you'll do it and you will duplicate yourself in others enough, because I never told you to spend all that money on people. You just watch me do it. You see that? Like, again, this is why that effect is so important. I never told you what to do. I just embodied what to do. And that's what's important. That's the difference, right? There's people who talk about it and there's people who just live it.
Exactly. We were talking about earlier with the Twitch streamers, bro. Like, you're going to sit there and watch, you're going to sit there and grind for it out, make it out, and then go be Kaisenat 7 days in a jail and get millions of views.
Some people wait for miracles, others go create their own.
Shit, boy. I remember you brought that up yesterday. I was like, shit. But let me ask you this real quick. So I feel like I know, but I feel like with your life, there's like so many different reasons, like why, right? Because you aren't waking up every day at 7 a.m. dropping your girls off at school, leaving at 4 p.m. for a volleyball game, coming back at the office, leaving at 11 p.m., running 5 tradings a day, having 3 different meetings with your agents and leaders, and then editing 4 different podcasts at the same time, 6 days a week for no reason, right? So what would you say, like, truthfully, is like your full in and out reason why? Like, who do you do it for? And also, second question, where do you kind of see yourself in 5 years from now? 5 years at the level that you're at now?
Great question. Phenomenal question. The name Dynasty was not chosen lightly. Like, honestly, that's what I wanted to create. Not just for myself or for the agents, but for my seeds, my kids, right? And so what gets me to do that is jobs not done. Like, people either search for wealth, or they search for a job, or they search for purpose. I firmly believe that my purpose in life is to help others. Like, I firmly believe that. And so why do I do it every day? Is because it's not for the money. If it was for the money, I would do what other people do. Show up, half-assed work all the time, and then that's it. I don't do it for the money. The money is good. The money that I'm making now is ungodly, like, in all honesty. But what I chase is purpose. What I'm chasing now is helping others get to where I'm at. I don't
more fingerprints, basically.
Yeah, that's it, more fingerprints. I want to create people who do better than me. Like, I firmly believe this. How I even got to Yusha is I helped 2 individuals, Josh Cohen and Jonas Osias, at our previous place of employment. And because I did it, I used to always say, one day the student will outdo the teacher, and when that occurs, if I do everything that I do, if I do everything right, you will reach your hand back out and bring me up, and that's it. Like, even though like it's not the intent of that, I just know that if I continue to genuinely help people, on my worst day, somebody will help me. Now, most people, we talked about it, they're self-centered, and again, I don't believe they do it purposely. Like, they may not see that, and that's okay. That's okay.
They will, though, eventually.
But there's a small percentage that will.
Right.
And that's why I do it. Really, it's my purpose. It's my calling. My calling is to help other people every day. Not just helping other people every day. Yeah. My calling is to make other people better. And I feel like that's why, 1, my social media platform is taking off, and 2, why people know that I genuinely am like that.
I love that you brought up that the student becomes better than the master, because I know you've never seen the show, and I can't do anything or tell you anything to watch it, but Naruto, and the reason why what's it called? My sales team is called The Hit and Leave, is because if you watch the show, it starts off with Naruto, the main character, and he's a knucklehead. His parents are dead. They got killed many years ago, and the whole village hated him. He was a nobody, right? And then he did not care. He kept it pretty much G. He was training every single day of his life until the point where at the end of the show, he becomes pretty much like the Hokage, which is the person who runs the entire village, like the strongest person pretty much in the village. And during that whole time in Fiasco, like the village got destroyed, built back up, destroyed. People were lost. People came back. Multiple battles were had, things like that. So it's more so like for my team, and why I named it Hidden Leaf is because of the whole embodiment of it. Because the team, I want everyone to be Naruto. Because realistically, you call it my team all the time, the ghetto, basically. My entire team, there's people less, now there's a little bit of older people on there that are still the same shit. Realistically, everyone's a knucklehead. Everyone wasn't supposed to be anything in life. People were, I guess, like lost, just like how I myself were. They want to make money, they didn't know what to do. And, there are a bunch of Narutos, and now I'm trying to get them to become the Hokage in a sense and kind of do what they got to do, train them, empower them, and inspire them in order to become, who they want to be, because that's what Hidden Leaf is. It's the strongest nation pretty much in the entire show, has the strongest ninjas, with the least amount of ninjas as well. Funny enough, I found that out recently too, which is funny. And just a bunch of people just trying to, create peace, love, and just kind of save the village type of thing. So that's why it's called Hidden Leaf, if you didn't know by now.
Well, there we go, man.
Well, shit, that explains it.
I mean, to be honest, I wasn't supposed to be anything.
Exactly.
Basement apartment, man. Immigrant parents. Basement apartment. 7 people living in a 2-bedroom basement apartment in Brooklyn, New York. Like, my dad is literally a high-functioning, illiterate person. Like, I should not be where I'm at. So Naruto is one day I'll watch it. Entertainment is just not really much of. Like, I don't really watch any TV shows. I don't know what movies are out because my focus is not on that. I have such a high focus on making sure so many people are successful. I want you guys to be more successful.
Bro, and this is, I think, the part that, I know for a fact is why, confidently, I don't mean to say this in an arrogant way, I'm always going to be now moving forward, number one at all times, because my mindset changed. It's always I've been obsessed with this business, and you can say the same exact thing. There's multiple times where, Sam, you'll call me, I'll call you at 2 a.m., 1 a.m. in the morning. For me, first ring. You pick up, same thing, vice versa, and we'll talk for 45 minutes. The first 10 is about some crazy funny story, and another 35 is about what can we do to get the boat going? What can we do to make the lives of the agents better, right? Yeah. It was multiple times where not multiple times. One time, I ended up finding out one of my agents on my team wasn't doing so well, didn't have, a place to go, a place to stay. I called Sam up 3:30 a.m. in tears because I don't like my agents to feel that way. I'm like, bro, we got to do something to help this guy out. Boom, boom, boom. Gave him some extra money, lead money in terms of to get deals. Ended up making $1,000 back to back to back. Took him in, saved, I don't want to say saved his life, but definitely helped him out from sleeping in his car at 6 a.m. every single day. And you picked up the phone and without hesitation, any other leader would have been like, oh no, fuck that guy. He gets hours in there. He can't do that. No, we're not giving him shit. He'll figure it out. But I knew when I would call Sam right there at 3:30 a.m., right when he left Halloween Horror Nights, coincidentally, calling him, I knew that he would be, without a doubt, helping him out immediately. Yeah,
because I was once him. Bro, so many people would look at me bro, I was a knucklehead. I remember my first grade teacher told my mom in a parent-teachers thing that, I would be dead or in jail by 18 because back then in the 90s, trying to grow up in New York, you had to fend for yourself, and that was just the environment that we were in. And so I know that I was just one bad decision away from being him too. So because God gave me the grace to not make that wrong decision at the right or the wrong time, I can't turn my back on someone. What the heck? I can't turn my back on someone because of that, man. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, yeah, man, I was literally one decision away from being him. And so that's why, and once you know the story, and this is something that I've been telling people, you have no clue what people are dealing with, man. I lost a someone that I've known for 12, 13 years, and this guy on the surface, he looked great. Financially, he's doing well. He owned 2 vehicles. He had a house, whatever. And lo and behold, he's no longer with us, and it was self-inflicted. And you don't know, and this, you know, I say this to the team. You don't know what the person on the left and right of you. Some people are great actors, but the role they're playing is their own. That's the thing.
Damn.
People are great actors, but the role that they're playing is their own. And we could watch movies and we could understand. That movie Joker was so real to me because I know there's so many people walking this earth that have duplicit life. Like the duplicity of it is insane. You look good on the surface, but internally they're dealing with demons, and people are so self-centered that they don't have the time to even take the time to say, are you okay?
Yeah, they won't reach their hand out, nothing like that.
And so, like, yeah, man, like, I was one to like, bro, when you called me and you were in tears, and I see this guy, and this guy, like, comes to the office, and he's happy-go-lucky, no one would have known that he was sleeping in his car, homeless. Having to go see his kid at 6 a.m, taking a shower just to come back to the office. No, people would be like, why is he in the office at 2 a.m? Because he has nowhere else to go.
You just wouldn't know. You
would not know. So I urge everybody, man, like, look, it's cool it's easy to be mean, it's easy to judge someone because of their outward appearance or because they're awkward. There's a reason for that awkwardness. We have a kid in our office. He said something in our Friday meeting. He said, it's so good to have a team that believes in me more than I believe in myself. Everybody was like, yeah. And to me, mentally, I took note of that. I was like, he is dealing with self-esteem. And if we don't wrap our arms around him, he could fall the same fate as so many people in today's day and age fall through that same phase.
And it's easy to fall through that phase too. Like if you don't have that support system, like at all, like, and a lot of people, like we're blessed to like be able to like even just like ourselves just call each other and call maybe a couple other people, our family, but we don't realize that a lot of people don't have that person to call, that even like a mom or dad, a brother or sister, they don't got none of that. So it's like one of those things where like I were talking about earlier, just to kind of give the closing statements, was like, I want to be that person for as many people as I can be, like you said. I want to make sure that anyone can come to me for whatever they need and they know that I got them. And I'm sure you feel the same way, to make sure that, you know, we uplift them all the way to, let's say, success, change their life around, because that right there is the greatest thing. If I know that I can go ahead and teach or train or help someone go from being homeless, sleeping in their car at 6 a.m. to eventually, hopefully, become a top #1 producer, make a lot of money, then that right there is better than any drug you can take, any type of high, any type of money you can make in your account ever. Like,
not only that, even if he does not become that most successful person in this opportunity, he will remember those who took time where he himself knows that he wasn't doing everything right, but somebody believed in him. Like, that's the thing.
What
Some people
about.
are like, are they worth it? Everyone's worth it.
I swear to God, yeah.
Are they worth this? Yes, everyone's fucking worth it, man. Like, because it's like, man, I could talk for another hour, 2 hours, 3 hours about this. Everybody is worth your time.
Right.
If Elon Musk recently said in a podcast himself that he's available 24/7 for conflict resolution. I could have looked at your phone and been like, it's 3:30 in the morning. But I said to myself, why would someone be calling me at 3:30 in the morning?
Gotta be something.
It has to be something. So I could either choose to ignore it or I could choose to respond to it. I'm either going to be thankful that I took that call or I'm going to regret it later.
Let's end it with that one.
That's all I got. Look, everybody, today's Dynasty podcast with Brian Porrua. Thank you for watching this video. If you thought this was a great podcast, share it with your friends, your family. We'll come back with some more. Love you guys. Create your own dynasty.
Yes, go.